You are now dialed in with the Dial Brothers.
What's up?
Hey, I thought you were not going to be there for a while.
Yeah, no, don't do that. Don't tell the whole story now. Now, I was ready.
I was ready. What are you talking about?
No.
Yeah.
No.
I just told you to send the link to a different email. That was not
At what
ready.
time, sir?
What does that have to do with it?
Sir,
It was before 6.
Sir, it was 7 o'clock. You said I'm on. That was.
I've been on.
No, I was right here. No, you wouldn't.
Okay, whatever.
No, so I'm like, well, you know what? It's something I need to do. Let me step away. Since people not ready this morning.
All I said was send it to a different email.
You said that was like 6:58, 6:55.
No. Okay.
You didn't get on until 7.
That's not
we
true.
go live at 7.
That's not true. That's not true.
Oh, so I was sitting right here looking, and your text 7 o'clock.
Yeah, I'm saying I'm on like I was just sitting in a waiting room.
No. I'm not gonna let him lie to y'all like that, y'all.
Okay. All I said was send a different email. I don't like this white balance, but we're going.
But you got new stuff this week, right?
Yeah, new camera, new lights.
It looks better though.
Good. That's what it's supposed to look. I don't like the blue in my face. It should not be blue.
Well, you can make those adjustments for next week.
I was trying to before we started, but I guess this is what it is. Yeah, it is a better camera.
Yeah,
and better lights. So,
yeah. Look, y'all, everybody really enjoyed last week's episode. So hopefully we can deliver for you again on today. And we don't just have a great episode last week and then flop this week.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. What episode is this? I'd never know what episode it is.
37.
Wow, 37. And we said our season finale is going to be the day after the election.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's going to be some season finale either way the election goes.
Episode 40. Somebody suggested to me, said, well, y'all should stop at 41. They was just saying because they was like, who knows what's going to happen that week after the election? Maybe something big
we'll see.
Happen.
We may do it if the election is not called by Wednesday. Maybe we'll have to do a bonus episode. But I am wholeheartedly for ending the season and taking a break.
I'm good. I feel like we're just now really getting into a rhythm.
We are, but when you watch your favorite TV show or podcast or series, seasons end.
Yeah,
Then you reset. Yes, they do. What do you mean?
My podcast, there's some of them where they don't really stop. They might say there's this season, but then they pick right back up. It's not really like a 2-month gap.
I do not like this blue on my face. I don't like it.
You know what's interesting to me, and sometimes this just happens and we don't plan it at all, that you're wearing your school shirt, I'm wearing school stuff, and we didn't plan that.
We didn't. I literally just grabbed something.
What's the weather like in Texas?
It's crazy. So yesterday was 92, but today is supposed to be a high of 70. I am so excited. The rest of this week is supposed to be in the 70s, but then we go back to 90s next week. Texas weather is so special. I don't get it.
It's cold.
We have not had cold yet. Like this morning will be the coldest it's been in forever. Like it's probably like 55 degrees outside right now, which is amazing. But it's warm.
It's been cold here this week. It's 41 degrees outside.
Where's it supposed to be on Saturday?
Saturday? I don't know. What's on Saturday?
Oh, it's next Saturday. Never mind. I'm confusing weeks.
44 in the morning, 72 in the middle of the day.
No, I'm talking about next Saturday. I'm confusing weeks.
Oh.
I'm talking about for the walk.
It's actually, I think, going to start warming back up, but it's still going to be like next Friday right now, it's saying 58 degrees in the morning. Yeah.
That'd be fun. So we talked about last week that we are, well, I have been, but we try to read more books. And I
Mm.
know you probably read more books in another way with your new job. They ain't new no more. Um, but this book, Countdown to 1960 by Chris Wallace. He's with CNN now. He used to be at Fox News. Not an endorsement of the book. But man, did you
I'll
finish the
endorse
book?
it.
Um, I can. Did you finish the book?
Yeah. Now I'm not gonna. Ooh, I almost said something so bad, but I'm not gonna lie to you. This is so funny what I was about to say. I'm not gonna lie to you. Now you have to understand that book, y'all. I guess you could say they're chapters, but they're broken down into
Days.
days,
I
or
like that.
hours.
Maybe I need books to be like that because when I see chapters and then look at whenever I get a book, first, like of course I read, see if I heard about the book. Two, I flip to the last page to see how many pages it is.
Mhm.
And I think chapters like uh make me nervous. I'm trying to enjoy reading more. Got dad in my head. I'm trying to enjoy reading more, guys. Um and so like if it's a bunch of chapters and then I see how many pages, I'm like, I ain't reading this. Um but I like that he just broke it into days. Like it made me not think about chapters.
Yeah, yeah. And at the end, it's broken down into hours.
Mhm.
Um, but now something I learned from dad, and everybody can't necessarily do this. You gotta, it's a way to do it. You can skim, you can get the gist out of what's on the page.
How you skimming if you listen to an audiobook?
Nah, okay, well, like the rest of the book, I started getting tired of. I was realizing that I can read faster than the
Mm.
audio book. Even when I had the audio book faster, it was getting on my nerves. It was moving too slow. And so
Oh,
I just started reading it on my own. And so last night I started reading Love and Whiskey by Fawn Weaver. And
another good book.
yeah, and it really the way I'm kind of going right now, I think in addition to like the religious stuff, I'm gonna try and read a book a week
A
and
week?
yeah, it's you if you get caught up in it
That's good for you. Good's good.
if it's good. Now if it's not
Well,
good,
let's talk about this book. We can talk about Love and Whiskey next week. Um, so what did you think about the book? What did you learn? I mean, to those who don't even know what we're talking about, Countdown to 1960 is the basically the days leading up to the oh Lord, the election between JFK and Richard Nixon. And man, it's like I knew some stuff about the race because I love politics, but I learned a lot of different things just about just what the candidates were thinking, how the mob helped JFK. Um, just it was good. What did you learn from the book that you didn't know?
Similar to what you said, I knew that. Well, I don't want to say that JFK or his family was shady, but I mean, if you read the
Well,
book,
his
um,
dad was shady.
th- well, you
I'm
to be
saying
in a
he had women problems, but I'm saying shady. I wouldn't say women problems are shady. That's just what's the word?
bad habit, sin,
Yeah,
vice.
yeah,
Yeah, no, I guess what I'm saying is, but still, he knew what his dad was doing, or he knew
yeah,
parts of it.
yeah.
Uh, so I think I didn't know the details of it, and I didn't
Mhm,
know just how much of a womanizer JFK was. I
mhm,
knew I've heard about like Marilyn Monroe or whoever,
mhm.
but no, he was he was
Yeah,
just not everybody, but he was
yeah.
with a lot of people, and um. I didn't realize how much, at least initially, um, and I don't remember the movie I watched. I just don't remember it being portrayed the way this book does it.
Mhm.
That how much strife there was between him or the Kennedys and Lyndon Johnson.
Oh, see, I knew. I think I read more about it, especially when I moved to Texas. I still haven't gone to. Oh no, I have. What am I talking about? I went last year, LBJ Library in Austin, which is amazing. Yeah, like they did not like. Well, Bobby Kennedy did not
Mm.
like
Well,
LBJ
because
at
he said that
all.
LBJ disrespected him,
It
and
was, it was
he kind of
politics.
kind of crossed the line. But then even Richard Nixon and how he took JFK for granted. He didn't think that John F. Kennedy was gonna win. But
Mhm.
man, I really wish, and it was funny. In books like this that kind of pull you in, you feel like you're in the story, or you're the way that Chris Wallace broke it down, you feel like,
Yeah.
oh, this is September 17th, 1960. You
Mhm.
following it? And I kept saying to myself, I'm like, I want Rockefeller to get in. I want Rockefeller to run. But I'm like, these people are dead.
You felt like you was in it, huh?
Yeah. But it's a good book. I think anybody who's interested in politics, well, from years ago, should
Yeah.
check it out.
I keep checking the table. I don't know if I said last week, I cannot read fiction books.
Mm.
I have to read something that actually happened.
Yeah, you said that. I think it depends. It depends. There's a book called correct me if I'm wrong, anybody who's ever read it. It's called The Alchemist. It's a
I've read
somewhat
that.
of a fiction book, but it has good lessons in it.
Mhm.
So I mean, it depends. If I can learn from it, and you can learn from anything.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'm with you. I kind of like to hear about real people. That's like I don't even really like watching cartoons. No, I'm saying even a cartoon like The Simpsons or
Mhm.
whatever.
Family Guy, or
Yeah, I
watching
mean, okay, haha, but we're real people. Yeah, shady
You
equals connected.
Do you know cartoons actually was created for adults?
Yeah, if you watch any of this, you can watch SpongeBob. SpongeBob's inappropriate,
Mhm.
or there are certain parts of it that are inappropriate.
Yeah. Yeah. I was about to say, so you stood in line for a long time yesterday on the first day of early voting in Georgia.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I was reading
I'm
comments.
like, is that a freeze or?
Yeah, no, yeah. Look, so on Monday, so early voting started yesterday in the state of Georgia, and on Monday, I saw some stuff online talking about it, and I told myself, I need to just go ahead and go vote on the first day of early voting. So wake up Tuesday, and really I forgot about it. When I say wake up, it was like 5:30 in the morning. But I forgot about it, and I said, "Oh, let me get up and go before maybe it gets crowded." So I get there at I pull up at about 7:20. Line is stretched all outside the library. I'm like, what in the world? But then I said, okay, you know what? That's good. People are coming out to vote. But now I don't know how they do it in Texas. Typically with early voting, you have to fill out a paper, which to me was always crazy. It's like
No.
that's just voter suppression. Yeah, it's this paper you have to fill out. So part of
Oh.
me was like, so when I got in the line, I said, I bet it's that doggone paper why it's taking so long. Because the line was not moving. So end up the manager comes out and she says, we're moving along. She said, but good thing is this year there's no paper. And so everybody like, okay, cool. We don't have to fill out the paper. That's great. Then she comes back out and says, if any of you would like to go to another polling location, you're welcome to do so because the printers aren't working. Mind you, this is what she said. So at this point, those of us who've been standing there for like 30, 40 minutes, we saying, okay, this is crazy. So people getting out the line, going to their cars. And she says her second statement, she says two of the printers aren't working.
Mhm.
So we said, so some of them are working. And she says, oh yeah, we have a total of 10. 8 are working, but 2 aren't. And so we're like, well, why did you say the printers aren't working? So people left. So then still waiting, fire truck pulls up with the lights and the sirens and everything going. We like, oh my God, what is going on? So the firemen go inside the building. They come back out saying they can't find who called 911. So then they say, well, maybe it's somebody in a car in the parking lot who can't get out and they call 9. So they're literally going car by car. The manager comes back outside. She found the person in the building who called 911. It was crazy. It's crazy.
Why
When I
did someone call
finally,
911?
they was having a medical emergency.
Oh.
Yeah, it was very eventful. I've never had such an eventful time trying to go vote. I said and it was freezing cold. I said, man, I'm out here for our ancestors. That's a better word than I used yesterday. I said, I'm standing out here for the ancestors. It was crazy. It was crazy. It made
He
me
said standing out. He said, "I'm out here for the slaves." Is what he
yeah.
texted.
Yeah, it was crazy. But, cast the votes and hopefully things turn out okay. Both federally, nationally, and locally.
We have a long, long, long ballot in Dallas for this election. Our early voting starts on Monday. I will be there first on Monday
To vote or
um,
for reporting?
to vote.
Mm.
Uh, knock it out. But we have a lot of, and it depends on the year for where you live, but we have like propositions like
Mhm.
A through like Z. Literally, it's like a
Mhm.
bunch. But it's a group primarily of Republicans who the charter, the city charter is like the governing document for how City Hall runs, and this group came up with all these like questions that would like literally turn City Hall upside down if it were to pass. Like one requires a certain amount of officers. But putting that in the charter amendment, you might not need that many officers 20 years from now or 5 years from now. It requires like a set number, but it's like a large number. Then one is like one question is like if a public survey gives an unfavorable rating for the city manager, like basically like the citizens can kick the city manager out. It's just a lot of questions that people likely aren't informed about because they're only thinking about the top of the ticket.
Yeah.
But man, local parts of elections are very important because they can make a huge difference.
Oh yeah, on your everyday lives.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look,
Georgia
look.
broke a record yesterday.
Yeah, y'all type in the chat. Are y'all what? I mean, since we on this live
You just
kick, and
love saying type in the chat.
I like the people talking to us last week.
Hmm.
Are y'all early voting type of people, or are you? No, I'm going on election day.
Right, because some people traditionally say, I like the option, but I go on election day. I always go on election day. I
Yeah.
don't know the last time I voted on election day since becoming a voter. I mean, my first time voting in a federal election, I had to vote by mail because I was going to be in London for election day when I was at Claflin. That was Obama's first year. Uh, I don't think I've ever voted on election day,
Look,
like ever.
well, I know I voted on election day, but the reason why I went early is because, and I'm glad I did, because of how yesterday went. I literally told lady in front of me, I said, "Now see, I'm glad I came early because if this happened on November 5th, Kamala might have just got a prayer from me."
See, but that's not good.
I'm like,
That's not good.
I'm like
Man, I was looking
this.
at multiple videos. It was someone like driving in their car in DeKalb County and just driving, showing the line. It was like maybe at like 1 o'clock, and it
Mhm.
was wrapped around. I was
Which is a
impressed.
good thing,
Yeah.
but is and I hate, like I said, I hate the statement that she made the first time because when somebody leave, they might not come back.
Hmm. Yeah.
And so yeah, and people were saying that they were, about to be late for work and they had to go to work and all this kind of stuff. So and one lady was an old lady. She said, now tell me why y'all ain't testing printers before y'all open up today.
Right. They should have.
What she
All those
said they
things they're
tested
supposed
them
to
the
do.
day before, but
Yeah.
they weren't working today. So I mean,
It's always something, especially and depending in the community that you're in. It's always something. Uh,
yeah.
Yesterday, Dallas County. I sent you and mom the picture. Yesterday, Dallas County. Apparently, like in other states, some counties do this. They did a competition like with students, and they were like a create a I voted sticker for adults, and then a lot of parents like giving their child who they bring to vote with them a sticker, and they created a kid one, and I thought that was just super cool. So I'm also looking forward to getting the stickers, the sticker that was created by students. I think that was pretty dope. It was
I thought it
it was
was
different.
okay. I was, I was just like,
What does
stick
that
with
mean?
the normal sticker.
Oh my god! So this is gonna look weird. This was the adult sticker. There we go. This is the adult sticker. It don't look bad.
I
It's
thought
like
that was the child sticker.
n- this was the child sticker. I want to wear I voted sticker too.
I guess.
What is wrong with that?
I don't know. I guess my mind just on other stuff. It's like, why are we thinking about who care about doggone little kids
A
stickers?
lot of people give their kid a sticker,
I
one of the
know. I'm
stickers when
saying,
they go.
I know. I'm saying they can get the same sticker everybody been getting for years.
See why you gotta be such a traditionalist. What's wrong? I'm pretty sure they will have the traditional sticker because I guarantee you some people may have a fit if after they vote you see these drawn stickers
Yeah,
and
they
they're like
getting a little scribble scrabble.
somebody gonna say
Picture.
that's people gonna think I fake voted. Jesus Christ. They were done by students. It was cool. It was nice. It was something different, you know?
Okay.
You don't agree?
I mean, it's cool. So wait, are those like legitimately gonna be at the polling locations?
Yeah.
Who paying for that?
Who pays for the regular stickers?
But I'm saying,
The county. What is wrong with that?
nothing. Have fun, people. Hey, you tell them you want one. Tell them you need one for
I do.
the news.
I mean, I
Cool.
want one after I vote.
Cool.
I'm
You can
saying,
keep it for history.
what is the issue with a different design?
Nothing.
Clearly,
Alex
you
can get her sticker faithfully. Yeah. Yeah, I'm all for the sticker for the kids getting the sticker. That's not. I'm for that. I'm just saying the new designs and everything. It's a bit much. They don't have to do all that.
What's the problem?
This is completely off topic, but it made me think about it because I talked about who's paying for it. You've been seeing stuff lately about the mayor of Chicago,
Yeah.
and been lots of questions about how they spend money. And they said something about they spent $80,000 to renovate an office for his wife, and he was trying to justify it. And the reporter said, "But given the condition in the city right now, do you think it's okay to buy a $4,000 desk?" And he said, "Buying a $4,000 desk isn't going to fix our problem."
That is true.
That's true, but still, that don't mean the question was, don't you think the optics of this are bad? So just because you can do something doesn't mean you should do
Everything
something.
in context. Okay, but the 4,000 desk is not going to fix the 20,000
Millions
potholes in
right.
Chicago.
But still.
Well, that dude he's been taking heat for a lot of things. I mean, the entire school board resigned.
Yeah. He's not gonna get reelected.
No. Chicago leadership has its own issue, and then you got the mayor of New York who has his own issue. Yeah, it's
And
just
you
been
know
interesting.
what? Not to be one of those type of people, and yeah, future voter, that's cute. Not to be one of those type of people, but I knew Eric Adams, isn't that his name? I knew it was something probably going on with him. He seemed to be too perfect. He seemed
I don't
too
think
perfect.
people thought he was too perfect.
Not
And
that he
you're
was
innocent until
perfect.
proven guilty. We want to make sure you're innocent until proven guilty.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with that. But that man did something. That man did something.
I know we're gonna run out of stuff to talk about when there's not an election. I was about to say, man, so with early voting starting in Georgia yesterday, I saw a lot of
Hey,
Republic.
drop in the chat where you live. Not like your
What?
street address, but
You
the
mean like
city.
Georgia? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, some Republicans took yesterday early voting as a time to poke fun at saying Jimmy Carter lived to early vote, but they showed the video of him outside. Basically, people are saying Jimmy Carter ain't voting. Someone's voting for him.
Remember, I said that
Yeah. Well,
last
there
week or
was
a
a
couple
lot of
weeks
posts.
ago.
There was a lot of posts yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I get. Thank you. I feel like a teacher, and it's like, didn't I ask a question? Thank you, Sister
People
Miss
ain't got to
Davis.
type where they from.
Thank you, Sister Miss Davis. Or you could have barely put ATL. Okay, Clayton County. But yeah, no, it's just I saw it was 12 people here, and so I said, I wonder where these people are from, because we have some
You know where every one of these people on here are
cross
from.
country viewers.
We
No, I don't.
we have our dedicated viewers who watch live.
I
You
can't
know
think
where
of
they
their
are from.
names. There was a young man who was on with us last week. I don't know where he lives. And you there you go. Dallas-ish. Is that
Dallas-ish. He's an alpha.
is that kind of like Atlanta-ish?
See, Travis was one of the ones who told me that you weren't uploading on the podcast.
Oh, my bad.
So, did you fix that problem, Mike?
I wake up in the morning and I think about it, and I be saying I'm gonna do it, and then it just don't happen.
See, you're gonna make us lose viewers.
Bernita,
Listeners.
that's who I was trying to think of.
Mhm.
Jersey.
Claflin.
Jersey.
Yeah. Well, Bernita, are you going to homecoming? Yeah, great homecoming. When was Miles' homecoming?
Last week, week before last. It was funny. Me and Derica, she came in here and she just said, "Happy homecoming, Mike."
Oh, you did tell me. You didn't even know it was homecoming.
Yeah, I did know, but I just said,
yeah,
he
it was
forced me to
first Sunday.
YouTube.
I said you should have wore something.
Yeah. Nope.
Oh,
Nope.
see, it forced him to YouTube because you aren't uploading to Apple Podcasts and
the
Spotify.
podcast
See,
platform.
that's a dedicated.
What's
viewer.
next on the
No,
to talk about?
don't change subject now. You telling people to comment and they commented.
No, I said comment where they from.
Terrible. Why don't you upload to Apple Podcast and Spotify, sir? The people want to know. The people want to know.
Yeah, cool.
You didn't answer the question.
Well, I did answer that question. Since you're not saying what's next, let me see.
Okay,
what's
so
next.
Kamala Harris has been doing a ton of media. Lately it's been seeming like she's been doing a lot of black media to try to appeal to black men. There was some controversy, I guess, with some of the comments that Barack Obama made to a small group of people on a college campus. What do you think about her doing all these media stops? Some people are saying, while it's good, a lot of people have already made up their mind. Like I always struggle with, as we get close to election day, with how many people truly are still undecided. I think people have made up their mind. So does all this media help, or should she have done it a month ago?
Both. I think that it does help because there are people who claim they still don't know who they want to vote for. But yeah, should she have been doing it a month ago, 2 months ago, 3 months? Well, obviously she wasn't the candidate. The further back you go, but still, she should have been doing it from the beginning. I think. Let's be real. Let's be honest about these candidates, not just the ones we don't like, but even the ones perhaps that we support. Now, she's not been in front of journalists the way that she should have been. Now, I think that's whether you like her or not, we can agree that she should have been doing more interviews. She should have been talking to more people, because if you are trying to separate, if you're saying you're not going to do the same thing Joe Biden did, well, you got to tell people what it is that you're going to do. And a big part of the way you do that is not just these rallies where you got the same script. And I'm about to say something about that in just a second, where you got the same script that you say in every city, even though there was some controversy about that. And when she down south, she used certain southern words, and when she up north and out west, she don't.
Hey, that's just called campaigning.
But it's called something else. But you could do that before social media. Now you can't do that.
That's true.
So She said Charlamagne the God asked her this week. He said, "You get a lot of criticism for repeating yourself everywhere you go. You say the same thing." And she said, "Well, my response to that is you're welcome." Basically, she's kind of throwing off on Donald Trump. She said it's discipline and that people need to hear the same thing multiple times, blah, blah, blah. I said all that to say I'm glad she's doing it, going on this media tour. I think it is necessary. Should have started earlier, but I think it's necessary. And now, yes, Lady Robin, that's exactly what I wanted to say. Yeah, that's she. All of them politicians. That's what they be doing is BS.
Well, I think they're saying the same thing. Yeah, like it's different in any campaign moving forward because everything is put on social media. So yeah, people on social media are hearing you say the same thing over and over again. But you have to remember, while yes, they are talking to the live cameras that are covering them every week in these different cities.
People that's in the room.
You're talking to the people in the room, and honestly, some of these people, that's the only time they are hearing from the candidate. So I'm not knocking so much on the repeating things. Of course, I'm biased as a member of the media. She should have done more media, even if it was a different strategy of different types of media. Now, people in news and networks gotta we got to kind of get out of our heads of thinking that we are so big and bad now. Candidates don't have to go on CNN or Fox or anywhere. They can go on social media. They can go on podcasts. There's so many things that they can do to reach the same audience or larger, and not go on cable news. And so I think some journalists are too conceited or have too big of a head thinking, oh, well, she needs to go on MSNBC and ABC and CBS and Fox. She don't have to. Donald Trump don't have to. And in recent weeks, he hasn't. He's been on podcasts and different platforms. That's the way things are going. I mean, I have multiple friends who they get their news updates from my Instagram stories. Like literally, that's the whatever I post on my story, that's their news of the day. And so I don't think it has to be traditional media, but I think she should have been doing interviews way earlier. And I know the campaign was just trying to be safe, and it got them so far.
Richard Nixon.
And now you got to do something different. You mentioned you said when going back to the men part, male voters.
Mm-hmm.
Now it is accurate, and someone made a good point last night on CNN, was saying like everyone's so like this the flavor of the week talking about it this week with her, and then the comments with Barack Obama, but Democrats have been losing black men, chipping away since before 2016, if you want to be honest about it. And one, just like a lot of people say, I mean, black voters, black men, any demographic, they're not a monolith. We don't just all vote one way. But do you think Democrats should be concerned that there has been a chipping away specifically in the male black men column? Or do you think it's just because Donald Trump is on the ballot? I think some of these trends that we have seen over the last 8 years are Donald Trump specific. I don't think that's going to be the same case when Donald Trump is no longer on the ballot.
Yeah, I think a whole lot in politics is going to change after, especially if Donald Trump loses next month. It's a whole lot. Politics is going to go back to being what it used to be to a certain extent. But I don't think long term they should be concerned about it. I'm talking about Democrats, not long term. But the other thing is now Kamala Harris, and to me, some of it's a little offensive that when they talk about her, these things she's trying to do for black men, and the first thing that they show is she wants you to be able to smoke weed. To me, that's a little offensive. That's first of all, white people smoke weed, and everything else. So it's not just a black thing. But I understand the incarceration and stuff. I get that. But still, it's more than just weed that concerns black men. And now let's have a real conversation. Forget Kamala. Forget what am I name? Donald Trump. When we talk about real Democrats and real Republicans, I'm talking about traditional Republican values and traditional liberal Democratic values. Far more black people, men and women, honestly would be a Republican. If you really look at it, I'm talking about before Trump.
Mhm.
Before
You're
Trump.
talking black people are historically socially conservative, but they're not
Conservative.
fiscally conservative.
Right. Yeah, no. If you took the social programs from the Democrats and then
Mhm.
all the other conservative stuff from the Republicans,
That ain't the case.
that's black people.
Yes, but that's not the
That's
case,
black
and that's
people.
not going to change as far as who's on one side and who's on the other side. That's just interesting that has been what's been talked about so much this week, and I know we're in the middle of the week, but it's been talked about. Like, y'all have to understand, I look at things from a different lens because this is what I do every day. But it's just, I think some of this stuff is already decided. Like, as far as, trust me, I'm not saying I'm talking about people's decisions. It ain't as many
Oh, that's fair.
undecided
You
people.
saying the election is
Yeah,
rigged?
no. I am not saying that. What I'm saying is, it's so many people who have already made up their mind. I don't think there's this huge block of undecided voters. Now, one thing that I'll be interested in seeing, and I talked to someone who has been in politics way longer than me, and they pushed back on the statement that I'm about to say. One, young people are never in these polls. Young people aren't being polled.
Have you
The
ever been
problem
polled?
is,
I mean,
no,
not polled.
I'm not considered young anymore. I'm talking about
Not
first
just
time
that. Have you
voters.
ever been?
No, but young people are not being polled, and I said that is going to change the race in some states that people aren't expecting. And this person who way smarter than me in politics said, yeah, but young people don't show up. They still have not shown up. Like we always say every election like this, oh, the young vote, the young vote. They haven't shown up in a huge way or in a significant enough way to make a real impact. And so again, here we go to see if young people will show up.
But
Because
why?
if they do, a lot of these polls are going to be wrong. I'm
But
very
but
confident in
here's the
saying that.
thing. But here's the thing. I think that people who work in these campaigns have to understand, or at least in these two. But why would they?
Why would what?
Why would young people show up? What?
Why wouldn't
What?
they?
No,
Well,
I
you
think
know
they
how
should.
you know how we talked about this younger generation is so like on fire for God, like as far as
Oh
more
yeah,
involved in the this
yeah.
is a different breed of young people. I think that's why they will show up this year. But I could be wrong. And people have been saying this for years. Oh, young people are gonna show up, young vote, and they haven't. Not in solid enough numbers to say young people impacted this race.
I definitely think
Maybe
young.
Obama year.
Well, especially the first time. I think young women are because they messing with their reproductive rights, and I think that there's gonna be a Trump gonna lose a lot of white, black, blue, purple, green women because of that.
Yeah, but he leads with men. And
Yeah,
well, but it's
it's
interesting
more
because
women
he
though.
leads with men, but I'm pretty sure more women vote
Yeah,
than men.
it's more women. It's more
But
women.
well, so that means, well, not that means. So in 2016, that means women, women broke for Trump. When, and not just saying because there's a woman on the ballot that women have to vote for women. That's not the case. Because
No, no,
if
no, no.
someone's not the best candidate, they're not the best candidate. No, it's just this young people thing is something that I'm really interested in, and I'm gonna have to wait for 2 weeks to find it out. But will they show up? And I think, like I said, this is a different breed of young people. Like, they are different in a lot of ways, but some of those ways are good ways. If they show up, these polls are going to be wrong like they were wrong in 2016. That's all I'm going to say.
How many and anybody who went and early voted, and I know yesterday was the first day,
Are you saying
but
how many young people did you see?
how many under 25 do you think you saw? And
Well,
granted, I
But
was
that
there
could be
between.
skewed because you went at 7 a.m. Young people ain't going at 7
I was
a.m.
just about to say, but still, I'm asking other people who went at other times. Did you see? Even when I used to work the polls, yeah, I didn't see many young people compared to all the other people. Didn't see many young people. I'm saying when I said why would they? I'm not saying that they should not. I'm
Right.
saying to a 22-year-old who does not come from a home where that's being pushed.
Mm-hmm.
In their mind, what difference does it make to them?
Yeah. And I think that's why this generation is different because it does matter to them. We did on the last day to register to vote. We interviewed a bunch of people who were Dallas County had a drive-through register thing. You pull up to the county election office and register in your car. And we interviewed
That don't sound like no Republican type stuff. But you said Dallas County.
Dallas County isn't. In one of the red counties you could pull up to the election office and register. I mean, you're just writing on paper. So one of the girls, she's like Gen Z, and she said, I never thought my vote counted, so I didn't vote last presidential election. Like she was like, I didn't see the importance or the need to do it. And this year she registered. So I think this year is different. But again, I can have egg on my face in 3 weeks and young people don't show up. I just don't get why they don't. And I mean, it's not like we grew up in a house where, not saying our parents didn't preach, oh, you should go vote, but it wasn't like shoved down your throat. Oh, you gotta go vote, gotta go vote. I
don't think
just felt the
anything
need to
was
vote.
shoved down our throat other than don't be stupid, don't be
No,
lazy.
that's what I'm
don't
saying.
Be, you know
So,
what I mean? But,
like, it's not like you just grew up in a house where your parents like, oh, you better vote, you better vote. No, you just took it upon yourself to go vote.
well, but I do think that we were surrounded by people, whether it's church or otherwise in the community that we existed in, where voting was something that was important. Or maybe for me, I don't know what happened when you were growing up. I'm talking about me. So, but I just don't think that to a 21, 22-year-old, I think they should vote, but I'm saying I don't think there's anything that's being explained to them that they've realized how them going and casting this vote, the difference that it makes in their life. I don't because
I guess what I'm trying to say is honestly, this younger generation is smarter than I was in 2008. Like they have more information. They
more
see
information.
more.
Yeah, I don't know if I said they
But I'm
smart.
saying they see more. They are smarter, in my opinion. How are they smarter?
Yeah, because it's just at that age, there's just no. Okay, think about it too. At that age, most likely you're not paying property taxes.
Right.
At that, so it's like you're not.
So it's easier to go vote because you
easier not to. I'm saying it don't affect you as much. Like one of
to be completely honest, I mean, this year's a little different. To be completely honest, whoever is president typically does not affect you. Let's be very honest.
The reason I brought up property taxes because on the one of the reformations for us here in Georgia, or at least in DeKalb, I think it was statewide. It had something to do about property taxes. And so what I'm saying is, to somebody who don't pay property, what they care about that? They don't.
I'm saying that's a local impact. Young people are going to vote for the president. I'm saying they're looking at it different. They're not going to vote for what was it in Georgia? They do it. One of my former coworkers, Joe McGee, said I could explain it really easy. But like they ain't going to vote because they trying to raise the millage rate or something like that. Like you mentioned property tax. They're going to vote because they see these two candidates on TikTok and I don't like one of them. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see. So it sounds like you don't think young people are going to show up.
Not in the way of how the context you're putting it in, that they saying, oh, it could be this big wave of young. No, like they say that every election cycle. Because people in that age group, the vast majority of them don't care. It's not.
Yeah. In 2022, I don't want to get the stat wrong, but in this story that I did with these high school students who were registering students to vote in the cafeteria, it said in 2022 there was a noticeable demographic of young people who came to vote in the midterm. If that is accurate, then why would they come to vote in the general?
Now, I think there's certain things that are going to get them to turn out
Mhm.
more so in the Democrats' favor. Again, this reproductive rights stuff, because young
Yeah.
people do what young people do, and you telling them that they can't get rid of it.
Right.
No, we don't want to do that. Then, too, I think, dang, what was I about to say? I don't remember. I was
Well,
about to say something.
in some states, I can only think of Missouri right now, but it's way more. I think some people are going to come out because they have ballot questions. Like the abortion question is
Mhm.
on the Missouri ballot. Like
Yeah.
the abortion question is on some of these states' ballot. Marijuana is on some of these states' ballots. So that's going to bring out some people just because of those things. Like,
Yeah.
not necessarily about the president, but they care about, okay, can we legalize weed in our state, or can we, change the abortion rules in our state? I think that is going to bring out some people. But we'll have to wait and see.
I
We'll have to
hope
wait
they
and
do
see.
turn out in record numbers. There was something else I was about to say. The reproductive rights and something else why I say I think young people might show up in Democrats' favor, not necessarily
Mhm.
for Republicans. But like you said, we'll see. It's just I really want to think of what I was about to say. I don't know. But
Do you go ahead?
no, do I what?
Do you think see, I'm just of the notion that people have already made up their minds, but do you think anything Donald Trump is doing in recent days is impacting this race?
Nah, and I think he's starting to chill out. He literally at the end of one of his rallies this week said, "Y'all, let's just listen to music."
And they listen to music for 39 minutes.
Yes, I think he's kind of starting to feel how you are. Like whoever gonna vote for me is gonna vote for me. Is I mean, yeah, people have kind of made up their minds, but I'm not gonna lie to you. Not for president, but some of the other races, literally standing there at the ballot box. But before I went in, I had my mind made up who I want to vote for commissioner for District 3, who I want to vote for commissioner for District 7, and all kind of stuff. All the other ones. But I'm not gonna lie to you, there were a couple of them in the moment. I was like, do I really want to vote for this person, or do I want to vote for somebody else?
Oh,
Like
wow.
it was just because
Your mind changed at the ballot?
it gets real. No, I ended up sticking to everybody I was thinking about. But in the moment, you're like, oh wait, this is real. My vote might make a difference.
Now, I do feel bad. I try, and I know I'm in the minority in what I'm about to say. I try to, because it's my job. So I try to like look at the ballot beforehand and know every single race. I mean, like down to judges. But let's be honest, y'all. Sometimes we get to the polls and you get to some of them down ballots and you just like, which name
Incumbent.
you say, or which names sound a certain way. Or, I mean, you just kind of like, all right.
About a year ago, I watched a long YouTube video about just the psychology of people. For example, in the presidential election, it's like you say, you get down ballot and you don't know those names.
Yeah.
And they were saying how many people in those smaller things down ballot win just because of their name. Like,
Yeah.
where they're listed on the ballot because they name start with A, so they up higher, and so people just click it. Or your name sounds like a white name or sounds like a black name, and it's like, and at the end of it, they said, are you saying that he listened to music for 58 minutes? Is that why you put 58 in the comments?
It was 30. It was 39.
But either way, it's like, be careful what you name your kids, because you never know. They might want to run for office one day. And because think about it, this just popped into my head, and this is 100% a joke. See, Ketanji got appointed. Ketanji would not have been voted for. Like that just,
You don't know what the race would have been.
Okay.
You don't.
Okay.
But yet some people are just clicking names that look familiar, because I mean, some
I
ballots
definitely click the names I like. you see your classmate.
Oh, I thought you were saying you like. I mean, let's be honest, y'all. Like, we get down ballot. I remember I was at an event and I met a judge who was on the ballot, and it was not a judge that name I clicked. I didn't know either person, and I was like, "Oh, you the person I didn't vote for."
Yeah.
Whoops. Like, it sucks for the down ballot candidates, though. I feel bad for them because, especially if you're on the ballot in a general election, that's way more people voting who aren't informed. Let's be honest, general elections are more people who are not informed. And so they're making these decisions, and that's why it matters what city or county questions get placed on these ballots in general elections, because that could totally screw up something that the city's trying to do. And you got a bunch of people who are uninformed about the topic just clicking yes or no. Like,
Yeah. I was working on a project about 2 years ago. I'm not gonna go into detail about it, but either way, it was something that needed to get onto the ballot here in Georgia. And the group did not want it during a presidential election because they were saying people who, like you said, uninformed would screw it up because they would just vote yes or no. And so they wanted it on another year where only real voters are gonna go. And maybe that's not, I shouldn't say real voters.
No, but that's accurate.
Yeah.
Man.
So
Well,
I just think that Kamala said yesterday in an interview I watched that she's going to win. She said it's going to be very close, but that she got it. She said, I got it.
I was looking at as we wrap up, I was looking at someone on the Magic Wall on CNN, Harry Enton, and he was talking about if Georgia goes blue again, it totally throws off the Trump playbook. Like, even if he won Pennsylvania, if she wins Georgia, it will throw everything off.
Ashley's right. They don't make it very understandable. Yeah, that's done intentionally so that you read it and you like, I don't know what this says.
Like, some of these questions, I mean, you'll be like, oh yeah, that's right. Like, that's why some Dallas city leaders are so concerned about all these propositions that are on the ballot next week, because the wording of some of them
sound
you'd
good.
be like, oh, more cops? Yeah, we think we should have more cops. But literally, if you read the language, it means there is a mandatory number of officers that has to be hired by the city, no matter what, no matter if they need that amount or not. You can't just set, I'm not trying to show my bias on this question, but you can't set a set number on, like, changing the city charter. That's something dramatically different than saying at a city hall meeting, hey, I think we need 250 more cops to have 900 cops. That's different than saying in black and white, in the thing that the city runs by, saying like you have to have this amount of cops regardless. Like, that's but yeah, the questions are written intentionally. That is true. Well, thank you guys for joining our early voting episode. I guess that's what this is. I doubt my lines will be as long as yours when I go vote on Monday, but I'll definitely.
Why you doubt that?
It's just, I mean, Georgia is a swing state, man, and I mean, I live in Dallas County, so the line gonna be what it is. They gonna vote for who they voting for, but it's not gonna be no long lines. If it is, I'll report back and tell you. It's not. Georgia's different, man. Georgia's in play now.
Yeah. I watched this interview on CNN. It wasn't necessarily an interview, but it was a reporter. She went, I can't remember the city. It was a small town in Georgia, and they said that, and they had like some type of evidence trying to back it up, but that it was the most pro-Trump city or county in the country. And there was like 98 or 99% of people voted for Trump in the last election. And the reporter literally was struggling to find a Democrat in that county. Like, she was asking people, and they finally called these two old white men who came, and they said they was voting for Kamala Harris. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting. There's a difference between Atlanta and Georgia.
That is true. That is true. There's a difference. But a majority of Georgia's population is in the Metro Atlanta area, and if Metro Atlanta votes one way, then that's how Kamala. That's how Joe Biden won, because of Atlanta.
Yeah, Metro Atlanta. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No, really quick, this is a person I know. It's just I'm happy I did not grow up in like such a small town. Their parent was the only person in the entire like county who voted in a different party. Like that's how small like the county was, and like it made the news. Like, this is a long time ago, but like what? Oh, I'm happy I don't live in small America. Thank you guys for watching. Episode is it 37?
Most of America is small America.
No, I'm talking small enough that it made the news. That's real small.
Okay. Well, Steven's ready to get off. I could stay on with y'all, but Steven's ready to get off. So I guess we have to get off.
You know, I got to look for story pitches. I have to, start my actual day. Well, I enjoy spending Wednesday mornings with you guys. Thank you for watching the Dowden Show. Make sure to like,
You was
share,
about to pray. I was about to say,
what you think? What?
I don't know why when you said thank you, I thought your eyes were closing. I thought you was about to pray. Standing in the need of prayer.
Oh my God. Before Micah start praying. Thank you guys for watching the episode. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Make sure that Micah uploads this to Apple Podcasts and Spotify so we don't lose listeners there.
I was about to do
See you
something
guys.
so dirty. I was gonna say, you do know I can take you off of here.
Okay. We'll see you guys same time, same place next week.
Bye.